On Saturday, 12th of January 2024, the Executive Director of Washington West African Center, Ousman Joof, was officially presented with the African Non-Profit Executive Director of the Year Award 2022 at a closing ceremony of convening of the Washington Community Alliance held at the Doubletree Hotel in SeaTac. In 2022, WAWAC Executive Director was crowned as the Executive Director of the Year, and the Washington West African Center WAWAC also named the African Non-Profit Organization of the Year 2022 by the African Achievement Award, annually organized by Channel A TV. African Achievement Awards are prestigious premium multifaceted red carpet awards created to acknowledge and celebrate African success and excellence in all forms of leadership and community services, etc. Mr. Joof thanked Channel 8 TV and expressed how thrilled he was and highlighted how important the award is and dedicated it to the West African community in Washington.
Thank you, Mr. Davis and the Channel 8 TV crew and team. This was really an honor. It was a very hard moment for us during the pandemic. We worked hard, we did a lot, genuinely because we believed in our communities and we believe the community needed us, and that's why we did what we did. Not because of the award, but it's coming along great. This is a good feeling to do something and be recognized for it.
The 31st of December 2022, the award was held virtually due to the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. As a result, Channel A TV deemed it worthy to hold an in-person award ceremony to recognize the services of Ousman Joof and others at the WCA convening, which brought together dozens of leaders from different communities from across the state. It could be recalled that in October 2023, Mr. Joof was recognized with the prestigious Community Catalyst Award 2023 by the University of Washington Evans School of Public Policy and Governance for serving the community through WAWAC.
Africanism. I am humbled and happy to be the recipient of the Community Catalyst Award 2023 by the Evans School of Public Policy at the University of Washington.
He was one of three other most influential people in the state of Washington who were recognized for their role in public leadership during the 2023 Annual Leadership Award Day by the University of Washington Evans School of Public Policy and Governance for the outstanding services he has been rendering to the community at a ceremony held at the City Hall in downtown Seattle. These achievements are a gallery example of Mr. Joof's work and dedication to serve his community. During that occasion, he showed up to the event in his African costume representing the motherland, along with a high-powered delegation including his mom Ajifatu Joof, wife Amisheka, and children, and as well as members of his board of directors and staff, and members of the Seattle Gambian Grandmas Association who always stand by him. Friday, the 12th of January, was the first of the convening, which started with registration and dinner with a lot of different food, drinks, and dessert at the WCA. We got warmed up by the Ganzango drumming, music, and dance group. The event then proceeded with a welcoming remark by the SeaTac Mayor Jake Simpson, and later closed with a general plenary of the vision for WCA.
Awards, MTV Awards, but really and surely our community, our hearts belong to the community because this is where we come from. And we believe in touching people where they are, which is starting with our neighbors, our families, our neighbors, and we keep growing. So through the African Achievement Awards, we thought, why don't we celebrate our own in our community? Because most of the times as Africans and people in general, when you pass on, that's when they're like, oh, she was amazing. So we said, let's give ourselves flowers while we can. And so since we have a lot of talented folks in the community, we said, why don't we appreciate them, beginning from folks within the community.
As a member of the WCA, WAWAC has been participating in a lot of programs, including monthly roundtables, direct implementation of different programs, convenings, conferences and workshops, outreach and advocacy on different issues, etc. The second and last day of the convening was centered on 4 different workshops, such as the Democracy Reform Workshop, the Public Safety Workshops, the Housing Workshops, and the Immigrant Rights Workshops, were held, enabling robust and insightful discussions on social justice. In addition to the award given to WAWAC and Executive Director Joof by Channel A TV, WCA also recognized the role of WAWAC as a valuable member since its inception, when it used to be called Washington Census Alliance. WAWAC was given 3 certificates for the work we did about the Washington Immigrant Relief Fund, the Child Tax Credit, and other outreach activities respectively. At this year's event, we did some networking, talked about the work we do for the West African community, and added our voice to the diverse discussions that took place.
So as you, again, I'm Paul from the Washington West African Center. Most of what you've been presenting us resonates a lot with my organization, as we're doing a lot of work around housing for immigrants, both documented and undocumented. Just last week, we found ourselves in a situation where this woman that moved here from Africa about a year ago filed for an asylum, waiting for a decision to be made on her case. And of course, by default, she was qualified for a work authorization. Had the employment authorization given to her, we enabled her to have access to housing. One of the things we do is advocacy. I'm familiar with this because we are constantly back and forth with landlords, trying to get to understand these laws. A lot of them take advantage of our communities, immigrants who especially have language barriers, who cannot speak for themselves, or don't understand English, or don't know their rights, or are fearful of backlashes if they take any action. So this is very important, and my organization will be very happy to support these type of initiatives, bills, whatever it takes. And I just wanted to make that comment to say that yes, this is real. It's affecting the immigrants, and the way it affects African immigrants, I have no doubt it is the same way it affects the Asians, the Middle Easterns, Spanish communities, and all other immigrants.
The event, which was a lot of fun, also availed us the opportunity to reconnect with folks we already knew, as well as new people. WAWAC's executive director and 2 staff members attended both days of the event. For more information about the Washington West African Center, you can contact WAWAC on 253-235-2132 or email us on info@wawac.org or visit www.wawac.org. Washington West African Center, connecting West Africans in Washington with local resources and bridge the gap between us and the wider community. If we don't have it, we go find it.